The one thing I've always liked about Rover is their kit, specifically the Spectro class. And with the 2.0 update, they added a buff to their kit on top of a catered echo set. So whether you're a veteran player or someone who's just started your journey in Wuthering Waves, I'm going to be giving you an updated build guide. Under combat roles, he falls under Concerto Efficiency, having the faster Concerto energy regen. Stagnation, which is what I mentioned with this outro skill, you can actually slow down targets with it, which is pretty cool. And when you start the 2.0 storyline, you actually get the addition of Spectro Frazzle. And if you want to get them up to max level, here are the materials you're going to need. For what skills to prioritize upgrading first, definitely your Resonance Liberation, then your Forte Circuit, and then I would do Resonance Skill and Normal Attack. These two are kind of tied. And then lastly, your Intro Skill. And here are all the materials you're going to need to upgrade these skills. For Rover's best weapon options in the 5-star category, the easiest sword to get, especially if you're new to the game, is going to be Emerald of Genesis. Another option, and probably the best one, is going to be Blazing Brilliance. This is Chang Li's signature sword. If you don't have any 5-star swords, don't worry, there are a couple of 4-star ones you can use. For Spectro Rover's best Echo set, I would highly recommend the new one, Eternal Radiance. At your 4-cost Echo, you're going to want the new Nightmare Morning Aches. Again, this is from the 2.0 area specifically, with either crit rate or crit damage as the main stat. For your 2 3-cost Echoes, you're looking for either Spectro damage or attack percentage as the main stat, and for your 2 1-cost Echoes, attack percentage. If you're still in the early game, 5-piece Celestial Light isn't a bad option. Now, there's 2 ways to set this up. You can either use Jue or the Morning Aches as your main 4-cost Echo with either crit rate or crit damage, have 2 3-cost Echoes and 2 1-cost, or you can have both 4-cost Echoes with 3 1-cost Echoes. For your Echo substats, you're definitely looking for either crit rate or crit damage, attack percentage, Resonance Liberation damage, Resonance Skill damage, and energy regen. For Spectro Rover's best team options, you can honestly use them on just about any team. If you want a main DPS for the early game, pairing him up with Yang Yang and Baija is a decent option. I like pairing Rover up personally with Verena and Shorekeeper, and I actually used this setup in Tower of Adversity and got 12 out of 12 stars for that left tower because I don't have Jinshi, so if you want to check that out, definitely go for it. For his S1 Odyssey of Beginnings, you get a crit rate bump of 15% for 7 seconds when you cast either your regular or your enhanced Resonance skill. His S2 Microcosmic Murmurs, Rover Spectro damage bonus is increased by 20%. His S3 Visages of Dust, Rover's energy regen is increased by 20%. For his S4 Resonating Lemula, when you cast your Resonance Liberation, you actually restore HP for all your team members. His S5 Temporal Virtuoso, his Resonance Liberation damage bonus is increased by 40%. And his S6 Echoes of Wonderlust, both your regular and enhanced Resonance skill reduces the target Spectro damage res by 10% on hit for 20 seconds. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you like the buffs to Spectro Rover? Do you like using the new Echo set? For me personally, like I said, I've always liked using Spectro Rover's kit. It just seems super fluid and super fun to me. Let me know in the comments how your Carlotta and Zezha pulls are going, or are you going to be saving for Roshia and Jinshi's rerun, or are you going to be saving after that for 2.1 where we're going to get Phoebe and Brant?